New details about the next Apple Watch, Apple TV Plus pricing and release date, and the Apple Card has officially arrived. Let's get right to the core of this week's Apple News and Rumors. Just when I was starting to doubt whether or not we'd see a new Apple Watch this year, the rumor gods came through for us, and I have it under good authority that Apple will in fact release a new Apple Watch at its September 10th event. Now the question is whether it will be a brand new Series 5 or some kind of permutation of last year's Series 4. So let's analyze the evidence. Apple has just registered 4 new Apple Watch models with the Eurasian Economic Commission, a necessary precursor before bringing a product to market in this region. Also on the list, new iPhones, which we obviously knew were coming, and new MacBooks. We're expecting a 16-inch MacBook Pro, but that likely wouldn't launch until October. Now, the other big clue we got this week comes straight from the source. Brazilian site iHelpBR discovered references of a titanium and ceramic edition of the Apple Watch hidden in the latest watchOS 6 code. These could be the 4 models referenced in the filing, so a 40 and 44 millimeter titanium version and a 40 and 44 millimeter ceramic version. This would not be the first time Apple launches a ceramic version of the watch. We saw it in the Series 2 and the Series 3 for close to $1,500, but it would be a first for the titanium edition. What we still don't know if it's a Series 4 titanium and ceramic or a Series 5. The only reference we've heard of a Series 5 this week came from longtime Apple analyst Ming-Chi Kuo, cited in Mac Rumors, which states that Japan Displays will be supplying the OLED screens for a Series 5 watch due in the second half of 2019. He also predicted that ceramic model. Now, I'm gonna be honest here. I don't think we're getting a brand new Series 5 watch. It really pains me to say this because I'm truly an Apple Watch fan, as you can see, but I just don't think that Apple has enough this year to launch a brand new watch, unless they've been doing a fantastic job at keeping it under wraps, which could be. If I am wrong, here are a few things we can expect based on some not so reliable rumors. In terms of hardware, definitely a new processor, maybe a new sensor, and maybe a round watch face, although that one's less likely. We know Apple will keep pushing health features on the watch. Tim Cook has even gone on the record saying that he hopes this will be Apple's greatest contribution to mankind. The Series 4 got new FDA-cleared heart health features with the built-in ECG and the irregular heart rhythm notifications that screen for AFib. And this year there's been talk of glucose monitoring and blood pressure monitoring on the next watch. But these would likely also need some kind of approval. And at this point, Apple would have had to submit some kind of study results to the FDA to get them reviewed, which it hasn't, or at least we haven't heard of it yet. That would leave sleep tracking because they might not need FDA clearance for that. Competitors like Samsung and Fitbit have had sleep tracking for years, and it has been notably absent, at least natively, on the Apple Watch. And we know for a fact that Apple is interested in this space. Apple acquired Bedit, a sleep sensor, in mid-2017. But sleep tracking would require a longer battery life and potentially a new SpO2 sensor on the watch to monitor blood oxygen levels at night. Now, rumor has it Apple will be switching to micro LEDs on the Apple Watch. This would allow for a slimmer, brighter, and more energy-efficient screen. That solves the battery problem. However, that's not likely to happen until 2020. Also far off, a camera. Apple has filed multiple patents for a camera on the watch and the watch band for FaceTime and Face ID, but given that they're just patents at this point, they're not going to happen anytime soon. My bet is this year we're getting 2 new Series 4 editions in titanium and ceramic, but that's just me. How about you guys? What do you think we're gonna get in the next Apple Watch? Not what you wanna see, but what you actually think could be feasible for this year. What's definitely coming this fall is Apple TV Plus and Apple Arcade. This week we got new information about the pricing and release dates of Apple's 2 new services, along with a peek of the actual content. According to a Bloomberg report, their video streaming service will arrive in November of this year and will cost roughly $9.99 after a free trial period, which we're not sure about, kind of like Apple Music. That would be less than HBO, but more than the base price of Netflix, and definitely more than Disney's new Disney Plus service. Apple has already spent over $1 billion in original content and will continue this spending trend over the next few years, according to the report. Although let's put things in perspective. Compared to the roughly $14 billion that Netflix is spending on their original content, this doesn't seem like that much. Apple also released a new trailer for The Morning Show this week, its new original series with Jennifer Aniston, Reese Witherspoon, and Steve Carell, which is reportedly costing them $150 million per season. Now, Apple's gaming service, by contrast, which will also launch around the same time, will cost roughly $4.99 a month and give users access to a library of over 100 games. This according to 9to5Mac's Guilherme Rambo. He also got exclusive access to some of these new games before their release date if you want to go check them out on their site. Expect to get some official updates about these two new services at the September launch event. Last but certainly not least, this shiny new Apple product. Apple had previously sent out invites to a select number of users, but as of this week, the Apple Card is available for anyone to sign up for. Well, assuming you get approved and everything, of course. You'll have to wait a few days to get the titanium card in the mail, but you can pretty much start using the digital card in your wallet app ASAP. Now, full disclosure, this one is not mine because I'm not sold on opening up yet another credit card, even if it is a shiny new titanium card and even with all the daily cashback perks. Some of the perks that we didn't know about that Apple announced this week include 3% daily cashback rewards on Uber and Uber Eats. The company says it will continue to add this types of perks in the coming months. That does it for this week's show, but don't forget to leave me your Apple Watch predictions on the comment section below or on Twitter, and I'll see you next week with more Apple Core on CNET and on YouTube.